Hello, everyone. After a breakup or divorce, it's important to understand one simple thing. All of this was inevitable, and most likely, your ex never really loved you. By the way, we can check that right now. What is love anyway? It's not a sudden burst of feelings, and it's not even an attachment to a specific person, as many people think. Love is a stable inner feeling of gratitude, quiet joy, and warmth that a person wants to share. And in the case of a woman, it's not the man himself, but the lifestyle she has next to him. Let me explain. Many people don't understand this, but there are plenty of examples of women cheating on actors, football players, and billionaires. And neither looks nor money nor fame helped them. And at the same time, there are plenty of stories where an ordinary girl chooses the simplest guy, even if he just has a cool appearance and no millions. And they have a strong, genuine love. Why is that? Because it's a big mistake to think that a woman's feelings depend on how cool you are. That's not true. Not at all. A woman is only truly capable of loving when she has no judgment, envy, pride, vanity, or lust inside her. This list can and should go on. And there are very few people who truly know how to love. It's rare, almost exclusive. And don't confuse love with infatuation. They're not the same thing. Infatuation is when a person loses self-control and becomes spiritually lax. It's the state of those who don't know how to love. Interestingly, even outspoken skeptics who don't believe in any higher meanings understand that, well, a stripper is unlikely to make a good wife or mother. It's so obvious that arguing about it is just, well, silly. But we rarely think about it. In fact, it's very easy to check whether a woman is capable of love. You scan her lifestyle. Is there chastity? What about selfishness? Lust, vanity, irritability, pride? Is there meekness, self-criticism, gentleness of spirit? And there you have your answer. A woman who is capable of love physically cannot live without doing good deeds. She is simply drawn to do good things, and not for likes or to show off. And here, it's not just about a superficial image. What matters is whether the person truly possesses inner virtue. But the majority of men these days seem to be in some kind of fog. They think, well, she just swears sometimes. It's not a big deal. Who doesn't? But that's already a warning sign. Because one moral flaw usually brings others along with it. If a woman swears, it already means she has irritability, anger, maybe arrogance. There's no humility, gentleness, or respect there. And that means she won't show you any respect either. A man who thinks sensibly can already tell, just from this small detail in her speech, what kind of relationship he'll have with her, how she'll eventually start treating her husband. And he already knows in advance where all of this will lead. Men often don't understand a simple thing. If your wife doesn't come up to you at least once a week with a sincere hug and gratitude, then that's it. She's already stopped valuing you. All of this is obvious. But what's surprising is something else. A man himself chooses a woman who openly and directly says, I live for pleasure. That's it. Her goal isn't to make someone else happy, but to be made happy herself. In other words, there is no love in her, and there never was. This is pure egoism. Moreover, it's an egoism prone to devaluing, to blaming, to chronic ingratitude. And such a woman won't apologize even if she destroys the relationship. She is very capricious. For her, conscience is like an appendix. If it starts to hurt, it needs to be removed immediately. Can she cheat? Of course. Well, if it makes her happy. Why not? What would stop her? Honestly, what? When you start a relationship with a woman like this, ask yourself, what would stop her from betraying you? And here, most men naively hope she just won't want to. But what if she does want to? Have you noticed that the smartest people don't consider themselves the smartest? The most moral people see nothing but flaws in themselves. True professionals are convinced that they still have a lot to learn. And the most selfish are sure that they are kind. The most deceitful believe they stand for justice. The most corrupted women think they will be good wives and mothers. What is this? A paradox. So think about it. That's why, if you see a person who evaluates themselves exclusively in a positive light, well, run from that person. Such a person not only sees themselves inadequately, but also others, including you. Remember, to degrade, it's enough to simply do nothing. But to grow, to become better, you need to perform a tiny feat every single day. Love is always discipline. It's about holding yourself to high standards, not your partner, but yourself. For example, a woman worries that she saw you off in the morning without a smile. She feels uncomfortable, she gets upset, because for her it's important not just to be there, but to be caring and attentive. That's what love is. It means asking yourself every day, have I done everything for my loved one? Could I have done better? And if two such people meet, that's when real love happens. Maybe someone will say now, yeah, Efim, your standards are too high. No, these aren't my standards. These are the standards of life itself. If you're watching this video, you're confirming this yourself. Relationships are either wonderful or terrible. There is no such thing as a normal relationship. That's an illusion. Love is the result of actions. Want to know if you love your wife? Look at what you do, because that's your area of responsibility. And it's the same with your ex. If she stopped loving you, that's a serious offense. It didn't just happen for no reason. It's a reflection of her character. And when I hear adults talking about looking for their person, I want to ask, how old are you? It's like sitting with a pacifier at 30 years old. It's not serious. That's not about maturity. Love isn't some energy from the sky. It's not a horoscope. It's not about whether she gained or lost weight. It's about your habits. Do you look at other women, get irritated, or restrain yourself? Do you see flaws, or are you grateful? Do you practice self-restraint, to keep the interest alive? If you don't do this, there won't be any love. And not because it faded away, but because you're not creating it. There's no magic here, only action. If you really were a good man, did a lot for her, were there for her at the moment when feelings started to fade, she shouldn't have run away from you or yelled. She should have looked at herself in the mirror and said, God, what have I come to? He's a good person, and I ran away from him. That's what should have bothered her, not your mistakes. Because when you truly love someone, after all, you don't just walk away from the person who, does truly good things for you. You fight. As they say, love those who love you. There's no reward for that. It's simple. Even a dog, if you feed it, will start wagging its tail. But modern people aren't even capable of that. There's more kindness in a dog than in people. And finally, a breakup is not a catastrophe. The catastrophe is if you don't learn a lesson from it. That's what would be truly frightening. Wishing everyone kindness.